So one of the songs that you worked on, like production-wise and early on and musically, is "Standing at the Altar" by Maggie Coughs. Came out on the 1-800-New-Funk compilation. So Margie had this whole album with Prince, the MC Flash, that never came out. And then "Standing at the Altar" comes after that. Was the intention when you did that for her to have a whole nother album that was going to come on Hazebuck?
Yeah, I think that was the intention, man. And you know what, man, Margie was so dope, man. I mean, like, I always called her the White Chaka Khan because she just was so amazing, man, like crazy. And I just think that what happened is she got so disillusioned by the music business itself. I mean, the contract she had was just crazy. And it's just like she just decided, I don't want any more to do with the whole record industry, like that part of it. I love the music part of it, but I don't want anything to do with the record industry part. And she just checked out, man. She just like, once I get out of this contract, I'm over it. You know, and she just like, she sings at a place called Archie Bunker's, like Bunkers with Michael and Sonny, and she was like content with that, man. And she's like, I'm just stepping away from it. And but it was, I thought she had the Standing at the Altar thing was like the first song that I got a production credit, even though the first production I did was I think Martika.
Oh really?
Oh really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I did Prince. I got a cassette. I got a song on cassette from Levi, and I did this song called "Don't Say You Love Me." And I did like all the tracks for it. And it was crazy because I was all excited about it. And then the record came out and I went to read the credits and it said production by Paisley Park. And I'm like, what? I didn't even work for Paisley Park. I'm like, Levi, what the? You know, I got my money and everything, but I was like, I'd rather have the credit than the money. But it had David Frank from The System. He also like collaborated on the track.
He's a friend of ours.
Yeah,
okay.
And he did some. He was on there, but I was like, but I did the drums, I did everything, and it was like, oh man.
You gotta tell David about that next time we see him.
Yeah, I was
Don't
like,
know if he knows.
oh yeah. I mean, I loved him. Actually, it's like when we left Motown, we had. It's funny. It goes back to Maserati. Before they cut the band.
Yeah.
There was a lady named Debbie Sandridge who was our A&R person at Motown.
Right.
And Debbie came to me and Greg and basically said, all right, Buzz is going to drop the band, but he likes you too. And Gerald Busby. He said, Buzz likes y'all, but he's gonna drop Maserati, but he wants you two to be like, basically like the System, like Mike Murphy and David Frank.
Oh, wow.
He said, so it'll be a keyboard player, singer.
Right.
And, you know, we were always kind of like the black sheep in Maserati because the band didn't really want us. It was a management call, and Mark Brown called to bring us to be in Maserati.
Right.
So we were like two ringers that they had brought in, and the band really felt like y'all are them two other guys. They knew about us from Fingerprint, but they never really accepted us like kind of like y'all are in. We're kind of the two outsider guys that have come to infiltrate the band kind of thing. You're not from Minneapolis. You know, they were cool to us. You know, I want to say that they were definitely cool to us, but I just know that it was that thing. And so I remember we just went, Debbie, we would talk to her whenever, you know, she had other artists. She was working with Jam and Lewis with different people that was on Motown. Some of the artists they worked with were out at Flight Time doing work. And she would come to town and, you know, and we always would hook up with her. She'd give us advice and give us tapes that, you know, so she can say, this is an example of what we don't like and this is an example of what we do. But she's trying to grow us as producers. Yeah. So when they gave us the record deal, like Greg and myself, she said, you guys aren't all the way there yet. I think you're good writers, but I want Mark to stay involved as a producer so he can make sure that it's got that production shine on it. And you should get like Craig to manage you guys. And it was crazy because that's when I first got a hit of how cutthroat the record industry is. Because I always knew we were like looked at on the outside. But I remember when we got done with that meeting, because when we went to meet with her, all of a sudden Mark walks in and Craig walks in. We're like, oh, what's up, guys? And then there's this full-fledged meeting and she tells us this. And we're like sitting there like stunned. And I remember getting on the elevator, man, like we were up on like at the restaurant level of the hotel downtown. I remember getting on the elevator with G and just we were just quiet for the first couple of floors. And I said to him, I said, you know, man, you know we can't do this, right? And he said, yeah. Because I said, it's basically fulfilled. I mean, what the band always thought. We came in, we usurped them, now we have the record deal. And I just told him, I said, bro, we got to go down with the ship.
Yeah.
And I just said, we should let it, you know, we go down with the ship, and then after that, if they want to sign us, fine. But I just said, I don't think we can do this, man, because it'll be like, yeah, we knew it. You guys came here, you sucked the life out of us, and you got the record deal, and now you guys are signing and we're dropping. Yeah. And I just didn't want to, I just said, no, man, we can't do it. So we all got dropped together, and we never did the Motown thing.
Wow. That must have been a tough decision to make to then not do that. Then again, I feel like you don't really want to betray the people that you're working with.
I just wasn't, to me, it just wasn't that. I just felt bad. Like I felt like I always knew we kind of had that. That's the way they looked at us, and that if that had happened the way that it happened, these guys we all were going to be devastated. I mean, it's like, and I just remember at the end when we found out we would get dropped, how everybody just kind of went. We went to the strip club. I was just hanging out at this strip club called Casey's. Everybody was drinking, like, dude, this sucks, man. You know, but there's butts all over the place. I know it's rock and roll, man. Y'all have to understand rock and roll. So it was crazy, but it was like, you know. But I felt good going down with everybody. We was all sad together, and it was cool. And then I just said, whatever happens after this, then cool.
Yeah.
We'll do it. But we're not gonna be like all of a sudden they get the memo that, hey, you guys are dropped, but Morris and Greg have a record deal with Motown, and they're gonna be, you know, huge next year. Have a good time. Bye. You know,
so imagine if you were in that position of being the people dropped.
You know what?
Yeah,
you would not have done the exact same thing as you did.
It was.
I would have not taken it. No.
Yeah, it just was funny, man. And I just said, no, man. I just remember just on the elevator, because it was a dream of ours to do that.
Yeah.
But I just remember us just standing there for the first few floors, just nothing, and I'm just standing there shaking my head because I can't believe what just happened. You know, I mean, it's like Debbie came in. She'd already talked to Craig. She'd already talked to Brown. And we just had no clue. So when we were sitting there in this meeting that just happened out of nowhere, and they were all like had sorted it out, we were just like, what just happened right now?
Yeah.
You know, the president of the label, like, yeah, they're done. Keep these two. And just like all of these decisions have been made. And we did just like, huh?
Jeez.
We were like, what? So it was crazy, man. I mean, and that just really gave me an insight as to like, okay, this is the record industry. This is the music business. Like it's tough, man. It's cutthroat. And, but I still, you know, my thing was that we got to still be true to us, man, and do what we think is right. And, you know, I don't have no regrets, man. I mean, everything happens for a reason. If I'd have done that, who knows what would have ended up. I probably would have never been with Prince. I think, you know, everything just goes down the road it's supposed to go down. I don't trip about it.
In 1994, you said in an interview that you worked on one of the remixes of Shake by the time. Which one was that, and how did that come about?
It was crazy. Okay, so they were working on the Graffiti Bridge movie. Yeah. And Levi was doing, you know, Prince had stuff going on all over the place. So Levi's working on some remixes for that record. And, you know, Levi's thing was he was a good guy. And me and Greg were just hustling, man. We trying to do some work. And so he'd throw us a bone. You know, if he had some session work that I could do, you know, he'd like, okay, man, I'm going to get you a keyboard thing. So he says, I'm working on this time thing. What, you know, you want to play some parts? You know, we get you a session. I'm like, yeah, dude, yeah. The time, like, yeah.
Yeah.
So he got me this session, right? And so I only had this time I had two keyboards of like, I had this like rolling like D50, and I had this sampler like an S50 that had my sequencer in it that I would write my songs with. Had a sequencer in it and all this. So I played the little session part and did a solo, and you know, did this cool little solo and everything. And then he said he wanted to do a club version of the track, like a remix. And I said, just put my 2 cents. I said, well, I happen to have a beat in my keyboard that may be fast. And I played him this club track. And he was like, that's great. Like, cool. Let's track that. And we tracked it. So, they ended up not using it because somehow it was like 5 songs to 4 now. Changed the splits on the money. I don't know what happened, but he was like, man, Morris not going for it. They don't want to split. It was some technical thing that happened. But what happened was, Prince, that's when he kind of first started talking to me because I had been around as a production assistant working on the movie and hanging out with Levi. And he just would see me, but he figured since I'm with Levi, he must be okay. And he just let me be. But he didn't talk to me though. Right. I just knew, don't try to talk to him, just stay out of the way, don't laugh too hard, don't just stay low key, So I just wanted to be like wallpaper so I could hang out and watch them, but not bring any attention to myself. You know what I mean? And so when I did that song is when I was sitting in the studio kind of in the corner like I always did, just sit over in the corner out of the way from the NPG and the other folks that was in there. And he just kind of said, nice solo. And I just kind of like you talking to me? Because he never said anything to me, He said, you played solo, right? I'm like, yeah. He said, yeah, I'm talking to you. I'm like, thanks. I was like, okay, that's great. And that's kind of, he saw, okay, this dude's hanging out, but he can play. So he can hang out. So it's okay. I kind of got, and then after that, it was like, it's kind of cool. I still try to keep my, keep everything low key, but at least he would see me around now and it's like, okay, he's one of us. He can play. It's cool,
The thing that was always hilarious to me about Graffiti Bridge is that you got this guy, Philip, playing keyboards with Prince. He's not a keyboard player. He's a hairdresser.
Yeah, that was crazy. But Prince dug his look. He said he's got a great look. Yeah. And so let's suit him up and put him on this keyboard thing. But then he got the beautiful Tommy Barbarella, so kept in step with that. And he could play. Yeah, so that was cool. But yeah, that's crazy. A lot of people don't know, but that's the thing about the beauty about music videos and movies. You don't know
unless you know.
Yeah.
There's so many little things that I feel like people don't know and they should know more about. Like the time when Patrice Rushen was in Prince's band for 3 months, so Batman. And she's like, nope.
Yeah.
She did the SNL thing. It's like, oh, shit.
Exactly. Man. She killed it too, man. That's one of my favorite performances.
She's insane.
Electric Chair was off the chain, man.
Yep.
Off the chain.
Can you tell us about the time when Prince shaved your head on stage for Interactive?
Well, actually, that was for Days of Wild.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. So what we were doing is we were shooting a whole lot of music videos around that time. And and I was going to change my look up a little bit. So, but before I was going to do it, I had to because Prince had this thing where he just would weeks later decide I want some more pickup shots from what we did before, and then he calls through back in and we shoot some more shots, pickup stuff. And so I had to make sure before I cut my hair off that everything was cool and I wasn't going to mess up continuity on the film. So, you can't have me shoot and I got a bald head now. I was like, where his hair went, So I had to go and tell him, hey, man, I'm thinking about, I'm going to go cut my hair, man. I'm going to shave it off and do bald head. And he's like, that's cool. I said, so are we shooting anymore? Is it going to be cool if I do that? And he's like, yeah. He said, I got everything. He said, but I tell you what, he said, take Paris, who was Paris Patton at the time, was there. He said, take Paris with you and just let him film you getting your head shaved. I'll make you use that in something. I don't know. And I was like, okay. he's gonna go to the barbershop and just film me getting my hair cut off. I was like, okay. I tell him, and I told Paris, I said, man, Prince wants you to go down to the barbershop with me and film me getting my hair cut off. He's like, what? And I was like, I know, man. I don't know, man. This is what the dude told me. I'm just telling you what he told me. And so, but I hadn't gone. I said, I'll call you when I'm going to go, and then you just, bring the camera over. This is around the time we ever do this NBA thing. So I go down to the club, and Prince is there with Ahmad Rashad, who is like a sports announcer. He used to play football. He's a sports announcer. And so he's there with a mod, and so I tell him, yeah, man, I talked to Paris, you want to go do it. And he says, I got an idea. He says, why don't you let me cut your hair off? And I went immediately back to a conversation I had with Mark Brown, like ages ago, like when I first met Brown. He said, whatever you do, bro, don't ever let Prince cut your hair. I'm like, what the hell did Prince cut my hair? Like, what are you talking about? Why would he even do that? He said, well, he cut my hair in a video and jacked it up. It's like sexuality or something. It's like, it's true, man. Mark hair looked like, this was like this. It was like fingers. And I was like, why the hell let's cut my hair, dude? That don't even make sense. And so when he said that, I was like, hey, wait a minute. I said, Mark Brown said never to let you cut my hair, dude. He said, well, I can't mess it up. How can I mess it up? You're going to cut it all off, right? I said, yeah. I said, do I get hazard pay? And he said, I can't mess it up. I said, okay. And then he's like, yeah. So he tells Ahmad, he says, hey, Ahmad, this is my keyboard player. He's going to let me shave his hair off at the show. And I was like, this is crazy. But I was like, yeah, well, okay. And so we do it, man. We're on the stage. And he's got some clippers, and he just says, so I'm going to come over on Days of Wild, and I'm just going to cut you. I said, okay. So he said, get it all whipped up. So I had it all bouffanted up real high. Just all stuff up. And so, man, it was so funny because he comes over, and he gets these clippers, man. They hooked up to my stuff. And he just like near, and it's like hair is everywhere, bro. It's in the keyboard, it's in my mouth, it's in my eyes, it's everywhere. And it's just like hair all over it. I'm like, and he only takes like 3 or 4 swipes and then he leaves it. So I just got half a hair and I'm looking like Mark Brown now. I'm like, dang, dude. And then Kim comes over, not Kim, other girl comes over. And finishes the rest of it. She cuts it off on the next song on Now. So I get it all shaved off, and it's so funny, man. She cuts it all off during the next track, and when I come down, like we're taking like little breaks in between the songs, and we had like multiple stages. Like I had my stuff on the stage, Prince was on the stage, Bland was on the stage, and then there were stairs that went down on each section. And I remember I was on the floor and he was standing like on 2 steps higher than me. And he was like, oh my God, that was so great. He was so happy. He kisses me in the top of my bald head. And I was like, ew. He did it twice. He said, that's rock and roll. He's like, that's rock and roll. He said, nobody's done anything. You get a haircut in the middle of a song, man. He was so happy. He was like a kid, man. He was just like, he said, they'll never forget that. That's crazy. And I was like, man, that was crazy.
We're talking about it now, so we never forgot it. He was great. In the late 90s, mid to late 90s or so, Prince, while he was at war with Warner's, he at one point said that he wanted to re-record his whole catalog.
Yeah.
So we talked to Hans Martin Buff about this, and he recalled that you had done like a sort of almost drum and bass version of Let's Pretend We're Married. Yeah. And he, as far as he remembered, that was all that he remembered being done. But you did an interview around that time where you also mentioned that there was a version of Soft and Wet that you were doing. Yeah. So how much actually got done?
Well, I mean, I just changed the groove a bit and did it. But you know what? I actually had a conversation with Prince about that whole thing. And I basically told him, because Prince wanted me to go back in and undo a bunch of stuff, you know, like he wanted to take the swear words out of some records and all this stuff that he had already done. And I said, because I used to have this software program called Peak, and I got to be like an expert at it. Like I could do all this editing, I could do some crazy things with the software. And he said, well, if you can do this, you can go back and you can edit out all. I said, yeah, I could, but just because you can do something don't mean that you should. And I said, Prince, you old people should know, man. I said, you can't unring that bell, man. What it's done, we don't have those records, man. You can't undo them. You can't take the swear word out. And I don't want to do it. You know, because I don't want fans pissed off at me because like, who do you can't play God, Mr. A's, you know, and try to change history and all that. I said, dude, I don't want to do that. I said, I can do it, but don't make me do it. I don't want to do it. Because I just don't think, I just said, you know, where you are now, man, reflects where you are. Your music will reflect where you are right now. I said, man, Prince, you know that, man. You know better than anybody. I just said, so I don't want to be responsible for like altering something that I think is like, you know, amazing work and historic work. This is like me going back and trying to put a mustache on the Mona Lisa. You know, it's just like, it's done, man. And it's legendary on its own. It's going to always be. And so I'm going to leave it like that, man. Get somebody else to do it if you're going to do it. I can't do it. So I just stepped out of it. And he asked me about mastering because I could change the sound. He said, I want you to master that. I said, nope. I said, I'm not doing that. This dude, they get Grammys for mastering, bro. Yeah. And I'm not a mastering engineer. I know how to turn something up and normalize it, make it loud. That doesn't mean I know how to master it. Right. So I'm not going to do that and then have you be pissed off at me when you don't get like what the results you think. You got to call like, you know, Bob Ludwig or Bernie Grundman, like those dudes are legends at it. That's who you've been using. That's who you should keep using. You know, Bernie was like, to me, one of the best that ever did this. So I just say, yeah, dude, they know what's up with that. Let them do it. I'm not doing it.
I mean, I have a huge amount of respect for Josh Welton as a producer, but Purple Rain remaster, it was brick walls. Like, yeah. Well, and I know like Prince was in control of that.
See, that's my thing is like, you know, Prince always thought, you know, I would try to explain, you know, that it's just because it's brick walls don't mean that it's right. There's a dynamics that's in it that's important, and you have to know how to have the headroom. The problem with Prince, I think, with regard to the engineering is that he would peg the meters out before they got to mastering, and there was really nothing they could do. They had no headroom. Yeah. You don't have headroom in mastering, then it's like they're like, what do you want us to do? You don't have anywhere to go. So when you have to send a track in, it can't be pegged. It has to be like enough to give them the room to like, you know, really work with the EQs to get all of that stuff dialed in. And when it's already slammed, they're just like, and because it's Prince, they can't argue with them. So it's like, okay, we'll do what we can do and send it back. And it's like, it's loud and sometimes it's harsh, but then it's like, it's not like, you know, like what he always try to get like with like that Dr. Dre thing. I mean, because we sat in the studio and he's like, man, how does he get it to sound like this? It's like, it's crazy, like the sub, the lows and all of this stuff. It's crazy. I said, well, you just got to go with the cats that did it. Yeah. If I saw you in a dope suit, and I just then what the key is like, there's a lot of people make suits, but if you like that suit, you go like, who made this suit, and go find them.
Exactly.
You know, and that's what I'm saying. I was like, let's look at the credits, find out who the mastering engineer is, who's the recording engineer, and then we ask them, how do you do it? Or do it for us. Yep. They work in that business. If we go to them and pay them, they'll do it for us.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was my thing, you know. I just was always like, just very pragmatic about like that approach, because he just make me crazy sometimes with like the mixes and how some of that stuff would be, because he just didn't have any patience, you know, like for that stuff. He just wanted to get it done and move it. But I'm like, that's a very intricate part of it, because all of the old records, man, Susan Rogers and like all of those, just Tom Tucker just chilling. Yep. Chilling. Yep. So I'm just like, just let's do that. And I mean, Hans, we had a lot of great engineers like over the years, but you got to let them do what they do, man. Yeah. And Prince was a hands-on guy in terms of micromanaging stuff. He was mixing and he was doing stuff and he was giving you orders. So you had to pretty much do what he wanted you to do. No matter, because we always had great engineers, but they're only limited to what they can do if you allow them to do it. Yeah. And my thing is just like, let them do what they do. Let them.
I know that with Sleep Around on Emancipation, he wanted it to sound like R. Kelly kind of sound, and so he brought in R. Kelly's engineer, and then he didn't like what he was doing, so he sent him home again.
Yeah, I mean, and that guy, but that's the thing, though. Sleep Around and R. Kelly, they're so widely different. Yeah. I mean, that sound, that song itself, with all the horns and all the stuff, there's nothing reminiscent about the R. Kelly.
I know, I don't understand this link. So why bring in that guy?
Exactly. So that was like, I don't know what you were thinking was going to happen with that, because it's just such a different type of music, you know. And again, even with front of house people, man, I went to see Sade at Madison Square Garden. I was like at Paramount, and I was like, me and Tony were at that show, and it was like, it sounded like a record. I mean, it was like unbelievable. And I went back and told Prince, I said, bro, we just saw this Sade show, man, and it's like banana sandwiches up there, man. It sounded like a live record. It was so, mix was so dope. And we got that dude. I went back to the soundboard, and I got his number, and Prince said, did you get his number? And just ruined that man. I just messed his whole thing up, man, because we got that dude and we had him for like a hot minute. And as great as that sounded, as great as he was with that, we had Rihanna's guy. We had all of these people. But once they come to us, we just kill them. We kill them because we don't let them do what they do. You know, Prince would micromanage it. He would do it, man. He'd mix it and move them out the way. And it's like, well, why you get
doing it wrong?
Oh, man.
All right, y'all, that's it for part 2 of our exclusive interview with Morris Hayes from the NPG.
Make sure to like this video, leave a comment and tell us what you think, subscribe and hit the bell to receive notifications every time we upload a new video.
Stay tuned for part 3, coming soon.
Hey, I'm Anna Fantastic, and you're tuned in to The Violet Reality.